the starting line, the engines are primed in the funny cars for round number 2 of competition. 16 cars started eliminations. Now they are 8, headed by this man, the reigning world champion, Kenny Bernstein. We've already seen his teammate Darrell Gwynn establish a new top fuel record. If Bernstein can back up a 5:47, he goes into the books. He's racing against Doc Holliday, the low-budget racer from St. Paul, Minnesota, that defeated John Martin in the first round. Holliday will be in the near lane. Bernstein, with lane choice, has taken the lane furthest from the camera. The crew checking over the car to make sure it is absolutely perfect before Bernstein brings it to the starting line under the direction of his talented crew chief, Dale Armstrong. Just how talented is Armstrong? Well, Bernstein pays him over $300,000 a year to turn the wrenches on his Buick funny car. And look at Bernstein go. A graphic example of the power delivered by the Bernstein car as he outdistances Doc Holliday with an elapsed time of 5.59 seconds at over 263 miles an hour. That advances Bernstein into the semifinals. Here's John Force getting ready to do a drag racing ritual, the burnout. Long and smoky, the tires literally burning, the fans just loving it. The burnout has a real purpose. It gets the tires very hot and very sticky. With Kenny Bernstein, here's Steve.
Well, it appears to me that this man, Kenny Bernstein, is far more interested in winning this drag race than he is in setting any records. A 5:59, good, solid run.
Well, it is, Steve. You know, winning is what it's all about when at the end of the rainbow, that world championship. And if you get a record along the way, that's fine, but we're here to win today.
Is that all this racetrack will take?
It's pretty close. I was all over pretty loose, and Dale and I just felt pretty much that was about all she was going to take, at least right now.
You got to be proud of your teammate. Darrell Gwynn has backed up that record in top fuel.
Well, that's great for him. Like you say, when you get the records, there's nice, but he needs to win a race today, too, just like we do.
Okay.
Bernstein with a very matter-of-fact approach towards the record-shattering speeds, realizing that you can win a battle but still lose the war. Backing up after their long burnouts, Ed McCulloch in the near lane and John Force in the far lane. A crewman lifts the fiberglass body and crew chief Austin Coyle reaches in, activating a second magneto, doubling the ignition capacity on this funny car, hoping to solve a supercharger explosion problem they've been plagued with since the start of the year.
This is the supercharger and fuel injector off of John Force's car. Now, Force at the Winter Nationals had 3 successive blower explosions on the burnout. That's expensive, that's dangerous, and it happened again here in qualifying. Crew chief Austin Coyle, trying to prevent that from happening, now is only using 1 magneto on the burnout for some rather complex reasons, but it does work apparently so far. If it should explode, as it did yesterday, they now have a special one-of-a-kind blower manifold built by Sid Waterman. You see that metal plate in there? It's made out of magnesium, and it is built to pop out and let all that pressure out instead of blowing the blower off of the manifold. And they tried it yesterday, unfortunately, but the blower did indeed stay down. So John says this is one of the best safety things to come along for him in a long time.
Force from Yorba Linda, California, will be racing against the defending Gator Nationals funny car champion, Ed McCulloch, who got a first-round win by virtue of that supercharger explosion suffered by Billy Meyer. We saw it happen right on the starting line. McCulloch in the near lane, Force in the far lane. Coming into stage last is Force. And the advantage to Force. But McCulloch pulls alongside and pulls ahead to win. McCulloch moving into the semifinals, and look at the time, 5.58 seconds at 265 miles an hour. In replay, you can see how John Force had the advantage off the starting line, but it was just a matter of a few feet before Ed McCulloch began to pull alongside and then ahead. By the time they reached that finish line a quarter of a mile away, Ed McCulloch had nearly a 2-car length lead and the win to move him into the semifinals. The defending champion still in competition at this Gator Nationals Championship. Into their burnout procedures, our next pair of racers. This is Johnny West at the wheel of Roland Leong's funny car. Racing against him will be a man that does not carry a major corporate sponsorship, Jim Head out of Columbus, Ohio. Even without the sponsorship, Head has already won 3 NHRA national event titles, including the prestigious U.S. Nationals. In round number 1 today, Jim Head upset Raymond Needle, while Johnny West, who has yet to win his first NHRA national title, beat Scott Coletta. Based on first-round performances, Jim Head has got to be considered the favorite in this race against Johnny West. He has the advantage, the lane choice. He takes the lane the farthest from the camera. Both cars stage a great start. And tire smoke coming out from Jim Head's car. He has to shut off the parachute out early, and Johnny West goes into the semifinals with a 5.81 second elapsed time. His speed only 248 miles an hour. Back at the starting line, the man known as the Snake for his lightning-fast reflexes, Don Prudhomme, gets set to do his burnout. Racing against Prudhomme is a longtime veteran of the funny car wars, the Chevrolet Corvette, driven by Bruce Larson of Dauphin, Pennsylvania. This is a surprise to every race watcher to find Bruce Larson in the second round of this Gatornationals championship. The upset of the day occurred when Bruce Larson, at the wheel of the Corvette, defeated the past world champion Mark Oswald, driving the Candies in Hughes Thunderbird. Larson came to this race after joining forces with Joe Amato and thus gaining the engine building and tuning expertise of crew chief Tim Richards. What a stunner and what an upset. Bruce Larson on a picture-perfect run defeated Mark Oswald. That left the crowd buzzing.
Well, this man has been racing funny cars for 21 years, but it's the first time we have ever talked down here. Congratulations, you upset Candies and Hughes, Bruce Larson.
Thanks very much. I'd like to know what I ran.
A 568.
That's not bad.
Over 260 miles an hour.
That's the fastest I ever went by 10 miles an hour.
Now it's another tough one for Bruce Larson. Don Prudhomme. Larson has the lane choice. He's picked the lane nearest the camera. Prudhomme on his comeback after laying out of drag racing for over a year. And up in smoke goes Bruce Larson. Prudhomme to the finish line and advancing to the semifinals. Elapsed time for Prudhomme, a great 5.64 seconds at 266 miles an hour. Prudhomme having found some of the horsepower that he had been missing as Bruce Larson coasts to an easy stop. His day is done. The semifinals finds two great world champions, Kenny Bernstein against Don Prudhomme, with Bernstein having lane choice, Johnny West against the defending Gatornationals champion, Ed McCulloch, and McCulloch has the lane